What's up, y'all, and welcome into Forte Catholic. I am so glad that you are here. We had such a fun show today. Liv was going to be here in person, but then things happened, so she recorded in her studio, and I recorded here, and we had a grand old time. So much fun. We hope that you enjoyed it, that you will enjoy it as much as we enjoyed it already, because we were there when it was recorded. Well, it's special. Enjoy today's show. Subscribe if you like it. Like all the things. Share it with a friend. Review. You know the drill. Do something kind today for your old friends at Forte Catholic. Enjoy today's show. What's up? And welcome to Forte Catholic. I am Taylor Schroll. That is Olivia Newton-John Harrison. Olivia, how are you doing this morning?
I am doing fantastic. I know we're filming in the morning, which is not where you and I thrive as humans. So I'm doing pretty good for us, I have to say. I've got multiple drinks, though, to help me get through this, Taylor. How are you doing?
We are both exhausted.
We are so exhausted.
We are looking at, I think I look more tired than you. You went to bed at 4 a.m. We're going to get into why in a second. Like, I feel like my entire face is puffy just because I didn't, like, I slept for like 8 hours, but
you did?
I was in bed for 8 hours, but I didn't sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was just up every few minutes, and like, it was one of those weird things, like, it wasn't for any reason. I had a dream about something that I can't remember now, but it's one of those dreams where, like, if you go back to bed, you know it's going to keep going.
And did it?
And I don't remember what the dream was, but I just know that I didn't want the dream to keep going.
Oh.
And so I was just up because I was like, I don't want to go to sleep, but I'm tired, but I don't want to go to sleep, but I'm tired. And you,
Yeah.
what makes me so angry is you look tremendous. You look so great.
It's called moisturizer, Taylor. Girls have an advantage. We have concealer. We have tint and moisturizer. We can do these things. It's all lies. It's illusion.
Which is what I was going to bring up, because when we first saw each other on the video when we were, like, you know, getting everything set up, I was like, you look like you have a spray tan on and what is going on? So apparently you have a lot of makeup on to make you look as great as you do today.
I look better. I found the right lighting. I no longer look like Snooki.
For sure.
Not that would be a bad thing. I mean, it's fine. I need a tan.
I tried to be responsible. I went to bed at around midnight, and I was in bed till about 8-ish, you know, so like about 8 hours of sleep, but I just didn't sleep well. You, on the other hand, you texted me and you were like, oh, what time are we starting? Because we had planned on 10, but I'm like, let's move it to 10:15 just to see if my eyes wake up at all. They didn't. The 15 minutes didn't do anything, but it gave us a little bit more time to get started. But you were up till 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And I asked you why, and I would like for you to share your answer with the congregation here today.
It is hilarious. So I have an incredible assistant. Her name is Anna. She lives in Ohio. And she gave me homework for this week. And I had procrastinated all week doing the homework. And so yesterday I was texting her and I was like, okay, I promise I will get it done. And I said, give me a deadline. She goes, okay, Friday. You got to get done. I was like, okay. So then I was texting her. I was like, can it be when I go to sleep? Like, what if it's not exactly midnight on Friday? And she was like, that's fine. I don't care. So I was up till 4 a.m. because I was procrastinating. And when I told this to Taylor, he was so kind to point out, why are you doing work for your assistant?
Right. You don't have an assistant. You hired a boss. No one likes having a boss. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to pay somebody to be my boss.
To control me. Yeah, I need a lot of help. So,
It's unbelievable. I can't imagine. Everybody's like, oh, I think the whole point of having an assistant is so you don't have to work more or, you know, work till 4 a.m.
I didn't think about it. I told her.
Well, now you have. You're an
love
insane
Anna.
human person.
I love her, and I need help. And so she organizes me. She makes me into an adult, and she's like, Liv, you got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this. Is when it's due. It's fantastic. So
what are Anna's best qualities as a boss?
She's really funny and nice to me, and she loves musicals, and she made a cute baby. No, what's great is she's my new. Not only is she my assistant, and she runs like my whole brand.
Not your assistant, but okay, keep going.
She's my boss assistant. She also is my new producer for a new show that I have. So she is the executive producer. So that's why she was bossing me around, because she needed some specific things for my new show. She was like, I need you to write this. I need you to, jot this down because I'm leaving for vacay. So she was like, Come on, let's get it together. And so she makes a form for me, and I just fill in the form.
Well, we all know you need reining in, so none of this is really a surprise to any of us. I just wanted to point out to you how ridiculous it was. But you mentioned something that now I'm angry about, because you mentioned a new show, and that she's the producer for your new show, and yet I'm the producer for your old show that you've just left high and dry.
It is on pause. It's not gone.
No, this is like we're not breaking up. We're on a break, and it's like, then why are you dating 8 other men?
Because I look like Snooki. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you looked like her earlier with that brown skin you had with all your moisturizer.
I wish I need a tan. I'm so not.
You
I'm like,
100% looked spray tanned, and it made my day.
I'm so fluorescent-y. Anyway, but yeah, no. Whatever. You don't want to do what Anna's doing. I know you. So this job
boss
is
you
not
around and make you work till. I as your producer never made you work till 4 a.m.
That's true. I made you work till 4 a.m.
Yeah, that's true. Like, hey, this show's due at 2 a.m. Can I get you all of the audio at 1:30 a.m.? No!
Don't you miss the old days? It'll happen again. I'm planning to come back in the fall with the podcast. So there you go.
Okay. That's Talk to Me with Liv Harrison. If you haven't subscribed yet, go subscribe, because it would actually help me out and spite Olivia for having a new boss.
It'll be back.
So you have a new show that you're working on, because, we all agreed that you didn't have enough going on in your life and you weren't trying to do too many things. So you added another one. What is this show about?
It's a brand new show that I got picked up by a network in Connecticut and Long Island. So I'm like, oh, that's New York.
It's not like
excited.
CNN. Like, you're making it sound like.
Calm down. I'm making it sound like exactly what it is. Okay, it is, and that is what it is. Taylor, do not ruin this for me.
You are also a member of the Forte Catholic Podcast Network. That's not special either.
Yes, it is. If I say it, that's why did you put the word network if you didn't want to impress people?
Well, it'll be impressive when there's
really
more shows on it. It's just you and me right now. Not impressive at all. About as impressive as you being on a network show.
Hey, but I'm not.
You're not replacing
show.
Fallon.
I'm not. I might. It is. So look, you just let the cat out of the bag. It's a late night show, and it's gonna be video,
Who has
audio,
cats
and
in
radio.
Bags anyway?
I don't get.
Cats
you know
in
what?
bags?
Nathan, my husband, used to put his cat in a pillowcase and push it down the stairs.
Well. I'm glad he doesn't have a hired boss named Anna that can fire him for that story.
He was little. He was like 10. It's fine. The cat's fine.
But you do what you don't realize is that's how every serial killer story starts.
I told him
hurting animals when they were 10 years old.
I asked him. No, he was highly allergic to cats, so his parents got a cat. so he hated the cat.
There's that scripture about If your parents know how to give good gifts, then would God give you a snake?
Right.
It's like, well, my parents gave me an animal I'm allergic to.
Right.
So what are you going to give me, God? I'm not allergic to snakes. The snake sounded actually pretty good right now.
He would not put the snake in a pillowcase. He hated that cat. So yeah, anyway, I don't know who, but put cats in bags. But yeah, so there you go. So it's a new show, and Anna is doing all the things. You don't want to do any of that. But I want you to be a part of the show, and I have an idea for you to be a part of it. Do you want to hear?
Okay, but before we do that, you're making the same mistake that you did. Do you remember when you announced Talk to Me with Liv Harrison on this show? Mm-mm. Do you remember the one mistake that you made that I yelled at you about forever?
Oh, you did yell at me. You yell at me for so many things.
What's the name of the show, Olivia? You're unbelievable.
Well,
you're so bad at this.
Let me tell you why. You're so bad at this. I haven't officially announced it yet. Okay.
We'll do it here.
Okay, here we go. Are you ready, Taylor? You're getting an exclusive. Okay, it's called, and wait, let me tell you why. You hate me. They're going to air it on the East Coast at 8 p.m., which I was like, it's a late night show. So guess what I named it? It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison.
Well, yeah, because 8 p.m. is like the morning to you because you're staying up till 4 a.m. doing whatever Anna says.
That's not a late night. So I was like, it's not that late with Liv Harrison. And now you'll be able to watch it whenever you want. So, wait till 11, turn on YouTube, watch my show.
Well, you can't watch it yet because it's not out. But, we got the exclusive world premiere. It's not so late. Not so late or
No,
not too
it's
late?
not. It's not that late.
It's not that late.
not
I
that
forgot
late
which
with Liv
adverb to
Harrison.
use. I apologize.
And my
I
cousin's
don't even know if that's an adverb.
Broadway composer, and she's writing the theme song. And then her best friend, Mamie Paris, I'm about to be on a trip with the two of them. She's a huge Broadway actress. She's going to sing it. So that's kind of fun. So it's going to be cool, man. So I wanted you to be part of it. Can I put you on the spot?
What do you want me to do?
All right, listen. I want to have Catholic correspondence. Okay, like, because you got to think about Fallon and Corden and, I don't know who, Leno, whatever. And
Leno's been dead for 87 years.
I can't think of old whatever they
His
are.
chin still lives, but he's been dead for years.
He has like quite a. I do too. I'm gonna get that removed. Anyway, so here's what I thought you could do, Taylor. I thought because you are this young, spry millennial, and you know all the cool things.
I have to look up the word spry. 'Cause I think you just lied.
I think that
Let's
means
look it up.
agile. Does it mean you're flexible?
Yeah, which is 100% not true
you're
anymore.
an athlete. It's in
Not
there.
anymore. Active or lively. I just sit here all day. I'm lively. I'm not active though.
Well, you coach.
He continue. Yeah, they
If people
run.
pay you.
I'm Anna in this situation. I just tell them what to do, and they have to do all these things that they don't like, and I don't do anything.
All right, so I thought you could give us a tech report, like whenever you want to. Like you could film it on your iPhone whenever you want. It doesn't have to be, we don't have to like sync up or whatever. You sit in and you tell us what's going on that's cool out there, the apps, the whatever, like what are the kids doing?
iPhone broke the podcast app and now made every podcast so difficult to listen to. So
I don't
annoying.
even know what that means. See, I don't even know what that means. But that's what I want you to do. I want you to be my tech guy. Send us in all the cool things.
Here's what I want to do with it.
Well, you could do something else if you want.
No. I'll do what you want, but I want to be known as like the angry correspondent or
Yes.
something, and just yell about tech that is making me angry right now.
Exactly, because I want you to think late night like this is gonna be a reoccurring bit, right? We're thinking comedy, entertainment,
And then we'll
Done.
do one that I'm actually excited about, but I'll still yell about it,
Yes,
like really angrily.
like what was that guy? Yeah, Sam Kinison. Do you even know that?
There's a
comedian?
new video game coming out, and I can't wait. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yes. Done. And you're Forte Catholic listeners, you're the first to hear it here. And you heard him say he's going to do it. So all of our friends, Andy and who else listens to us all the time? Like Sarah, like you have to hold him to it,
all
guys.
2 of our listeners now know.
No, that's our prom king and prom queen. Like they're
Oh, nice.
I know. We should send them like awards.
So here's what's
Best
awkward
listener
about
awards.
that. And this happened at the school that I coach at, where like, so Andy's married with kids. Sarah's not married,
But she
so
babysits
now
kids.
she's dating. But it's always awkward when the prom king and queen
Oh,
like,
on a couple.
are but they're coupled with someone else. Like that 100% happened in our prom. It's just like weird. Where like all the prom pictures are the king and queen, and meanwhile the king's girlfriend's just in the background, like, oh.
We won't make you dance, Andy and Sarah. Wait, where does Andy live, by the way?
It doesn't matter.
I'm going on a
moving
road
on.
trip. I want to go say hi. So anyway, can we
sure.
do that? Can we do like a Forte road trip and like we just go and like have drinks with people? Okay, I haven't drank since October. So.
Like I said, we're moving on.
Never mind.
So,
Forget it. I don't want to hang out with
I
anyone.
have to tell you now. We are now. Let's see. We are now
Longest segment ever.
13 minutes into this segment, and you and I were on the Zoom call for about 15 minutes before we started.
Mm-hmm.
And I have made a major life change, and you haven't mentioned it at all.
I haven't asked. Taylor, what is going on in your life? Share with us.
No, I'm not gonna. You're not picking up what I'm putting down.
What is your major life
we were-
change? No, you
What?
are. You're doing good. Like your life is being
Olivia!
good. What?
You're moving forward too quickly.
Oh.
It's making me even angrier that we've talked about your face, and you haven't noticed what's going on my face.
What's going on? Oh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Okay, so
You
a lot.
don't
Most
have a
people listen.
Beard.
Exactly. I shaved off my beard, and you didn't mention it for
Didn't-
an
wait a
hour.
minute. I'm literally male inside. Like I did not even notice your.
No one has seen my face
Oh
since
my God.
2019,
I've
and we're just
never-
not going to reference this.
That is insane. You have to redo your little icon guy.
No, my beard will go back in a week and a half. It'll be
Why
fine.
did you shave? And how
Because
did I
no
not
one
notice?
had seen my face since 2019.
And all of a sudden that bothered you?
Yeah, so I usually keep my beard for about a year and a half, and it had been longer than that. December of 2019 was the last time that I shaved. It was right before the last conference that I went to before the world shut down.
Yeah.
So it was my COVID beard, and I was finally like, you know what? I usually shave my beard for like big changes, and it's like, well, school year's over. We're moving into summer. I'm doing a lot better, like just professionally, spiritually, like things have been good. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm done with COVID beard. And it was making me really angry because my beard it's always made me mad that my beard is mostly red and like orange. It's made me mad because I was 100% super blonde when I had hair, but since I'm bald, everybody thinks that I'm a redhead, and I don't like that for some reason. Sorry to all the other redheads, but I'm 100% a blonde, and I take pride in that.
Is that the only place that's red hair on your body? Like not your arms or your legs or anything? You like?
Yeah, no, it's
Eyebrows?
just the beard.
But what about
now,
your eyebrows?
So I already didn't like the red in my beard,
That's so
and
weird.
then it has begun. It was all turning gray. Like when I shaved it off yesterday, like it's mostly
white.
gray hair.
It was white, not gray.
So yeah,
You're
I was
young.
turning into Gandalf the White, not Gandalf the Gray.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I got tired of looking old, and I think I look like a 23-year-old now.
You
a very
do.
fat 23-year-old, but still 23.
You do not look fat. Listen to me. Did I hurt your feelings that I didn't know? I really didn't notice.
I just cannot believe. Like, I made sure
I'm
that
the
I had my
worst.
camera set up for when you entered the meeting so that I could capture your reaction. You're like my family, my workout partner, and the guy staying with me this weekend are the only people that have seen this. This is the grand premiere of me without a beard, and I had it all set up for your reaction, and you didn't react. You're just like, "Hey, Taylor, how are you doing?" I'm like, "Look at my face."
This is so perfect, though. This is so on par for our relationship.
I noticed that your face looked like you had a spray tan.
Okay.
And you didn't recognize that my face is missing half of its features.
I am so sorry. I feel so bad. It's because I only look at your eyes, Taylor.
Uh-huh.
Eyes up here.
My
Eyes
best
up here.
attribute, which pop when I don't have a beard.
I cannot believe I did not. Okay, you know what? I would like to call in defense. This is like I have evidence. Class A. I don't know what it is. How to say it? I was up till 4. So this is what happens. I didn't notice anything because I'm so tired.
I cannot believe it.
I can't believe I didn't notice that your beard is gone. I am the worst friend you
either.
have. You should
It's
break up
unbelievable.
Break up
and what's
with me.
crazy is a lot of
Break
people
up
that are
with me.
listening on the podcast just realized that my beard is gone.
It's gone.
But everybody that's been watching on YouTube was watching the show for 15 minutes. And they were like, are they just not going to address this?
You know what would have been really funny is if you had waited the entire show to see. I wouldn't have noticed. Let's be honest.
People would have gone crazy. Okay.
I'm so sorry. Everybody, you can yell at me. I'm a horrible friend. I'm glad that we got that out of the way.
You really are. I'm glad we agreed on that.
We do. First thing we agree on.
So yeah, and like it's always been like symbolic for me and kind of helps me. Like it's a weird thing and like it shouldn't work, but it kind of does. You know how like when you leave confession, like you receive the absolution and then you get your penance, right? Where it's like, this is like something to help you remember
It's like
that
a free.
You sinned and that's part of it, but also that you're free from that and like something new is starting, right? Mm-hmm. So like that's what I always like. It's the only physical feature that I can change about myself because I can't change my haircut because there's no hairs to cut anymore. So and like I can't lose weight because believe me, I've tried and I keep gaining weight because I don't understand. I can't change anything else about my physical appearance, but I can shave my beard. So now every time that I see myself in the mirror, I know that it's changed. And usually, like, people that actually like and care about me, they notice immediately. And it makes me remember that, I'm trying to be better now. So
Now we know who your real friends are. Allison would have noticed.
100%.
I know. She's the best.
She is.
But we already knew that. So I'm the worst.
Your perceived rivalry with Allison that just has never existed is
It's
so
so
funny
stupid because like we text all day yesterday. She just texted me already this morning. Like, we talk constantly. I love her more than anything.
Were you mad that she didn't text you between the hours of 1 and 4 while you were awake?
She might have texted me at 4. At 1 this morning because she's on a trip anyway. But she's great.
The other part of this to kind of close this up. Now
but
that
you do look
now
good.
that
Can
I'm
I say you do look really handsome? You look really good. It's nice to see your face. I'm really sorry I didn't notice. You do look fantastic.
I just started sweating with anger. So, but let's finish this up. So last night, it wasn't just that you were working. Like you started working late because your son graduated. Congratulations!
High school. Yes.
I know that we were kind of worried about it because his religion grade, ironically enough, wasn't doing too well.
Yeah, and you know what? It's because he's so cocky. He's like, I know the Catholic Church, and I'm like, but you have to turn in your homework, because he goes to a Catholic high school, and he's like, but I already know it, and I'm like, that's not how that works. Like, and his grade is so bad, but he graduated, praise God, and he's gonna go live with Bob Lifnesky and Mark Piro at Vagabond Missions for a year. He's gonna do a year of mission work in Pittsburgh, living in the projects, and then he got into UD, so he deferred to UD, so he'll go a year after that. But I'm officially old. I got an 18-year-old that graduated.
Wait. Okay.
What did
this
I
is
say?
hilarious. I didn't know about the UD part. I knew about the Vagabond Ministries thing, and these are your words, but paraphrased. But I mean, y'all are. He is a rich white kid.
He is.
Because y'all are
Male,
insanely
white.
wealthy.
Okay,
and
we
y'all
only
are
have 2 kids.
No, it's my turn to talk. Y'all are sending him to Vagabond Ministries to live in the projects to learn that, like, there are people not as privileged as he is.
Thank you.
And then after that experience is over, he's going to UD where rich white kids also rule. So he only gets to learn his lesson for a year and then get comfortable again.
A private liberal arts Catholic school. It's the only one he got into. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No. No.
How much did Dad pay for him to get it?
Stop it. I'm not Lori Loughlin. Calm down. But listen, I mean, he got in there. He wants to be a writer. So we'll see. They
didn't check his religion grade for the Catholic school.
Exactly. They said yes way too soon. But he did graduate. But we'll see if he stays there or if he goes there for a year and then transfers. He really wants to go to an Ivy League school. He wants to be a lawyer, or a writer. He really wants to write. So we'll see. But yeah, listen, it's not his fault that he's white, not his fault that he's male, not his fault that he's privileged. The point is what is he going to do with it? And so since he was 7 years old, I've been telling him, I want you to give up a year of your life and go learn stuff that I can't teach him. So that's what he's going to go do. I'm excited. We'll see.
That's awesome.
We'll see. So yeah, he graduated and I'm old. And I do want to say this. So when our kids do something really huge in their life, we celebrate by watching film. You know what a big movie buff I am. I'm a huge film person. And so because
a little less big now, but that's a whole different thing.
Nice. You lost your beard. I lost 300 pounds. Samesies. So there's a movie called Can't Hardly Wait. Did you ever see it with Seth Green? No. I hate you. Why? Why are you 12?
You didn't notice my face is missing.
Oh, I am the worst. I'm going to send you a smoked salmon. You love when I do that.
I hate that so much.
I know.
Please finish your story.
Okay.
We're way over time.
So anyway, Can't Hardly Wait is, it takes place in high school and it's graduation and it's like a big graduation party. It's hysterical. It's a great film. And we've told him his whole life, he couldn't watch Breakfast Club till he was 16. And when he turned 16, we watched it that night. Can't Hardly Wait till he graduates. So the day we found out that he was going to graduate high school, because it was a little touch and go, we stayed up, Nathan and I, and watched it with him. And then when he graduates from college, he'll watch St. Elmo's Fire. So that is my parenting tip. You can teach things through movies. Thank you.
Well, only if your kids don't have friends, because if they have friends, they'll be doing things on their 16th, 18th, and 21st birthday.
This is late at night when he came home, 2 a.m.
Sure. All right. Well, that's our segment. I'll try to be less angry, and Liv will try to be more perceptive whenever we come back. Don't go anywhere. Ever since I started doing these ads for Catholic Match, people have been coming out of the woodwork and say, listeners of the show saying, oh, I met my wife, I met my husband on Catholic Match, or other people saying, look, I started trying it for the first time and it actually is working out, including this weekend 2 friends of mine, one who is a friend from one city and one who's a friend from another city, who didn't know each other and didn't even know that they had a mutual friend in me. Well, they had been talking through Catholic Match for the last couple of months and decided to finally meet in person. And they did so at my house. And then they went to dinner and it was lovely and they're dating now and I'm so happy for them. And all that was Catholic Match and I had nothing to do with it. So if you want to sign up, if you've been wanting to start dating again, or after the pandemic is ending and all these things, try Catholic Match. It's free. CatholicMatch.com/Forte. And anybody who has already signed up with our code, or anybody who signs up over the next few weeks, you are put into a raffle for a free premium version of Catholic Match. So do that today. CatholicMatch.com/Forte. Welcome back to Forte Catholic. I am Taylor Stroll, and that is a woman that didn't notice that my face has completely reappeared for the first time in 2 years. So I know, like I guess as we're recording this right before Pentecost. So everybody listening to this, Pentecost just happened, right? So not only is like Lent over, but the Easter season is over. But I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and I noticed this the other day. Like, there's only one other podcast that I actually listen to anymore, because I listen to so many Catholic podcasts because I produce 20 of them that I just can't. There are a bunch of great Catholic podcasts out there, and by a bunch, I mean like 4. And I just can't listen to them anymore because I'm constantly listening to, because I'm editing them, right? There's a fly on my, go away, fly, shoot fly.
I'm surprised you still listen to any after all the work you do. That's amazing.
Well, yeah, I have to listen to Clerically Speaking. Father Anthony's secondary podcast. I have to listen to him. He's my best friend. I gotta listen to some Forte.
He's your best friend?
Yeah, I have 2 best friends. One's a priest and one's a Protestant from home. So
I'm neither of those. So that's
the most Catholic and the least Catholic.
Man, Alice and I didn't make the cut at all.
No, y'all are.
Who would be your best married lady friends?
That would be my wife.
Dang it. Sam, always getting in the way. I love Sam. I would take Sam over you in a heartbeat.
Me too. So let's move on. I forgot what I was talking about. What were we talking about?
You listen to podcasts and
So I only listen to Catholic podcasts that I'm getting paid to listen to now. So if you run a Catholic podcast and want me to produce it, you can pay me to do that. Or if you just want me to listen, also send me some money and I'll listen to your podcast. But I was listening to one the other day that was recorded still during Lent, right? A lot of people, we pre-record the show by a few days. Like, we usually record Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then it comes out the following Wednesday, right? But a lot of podcasts, people that have big, this is my primary job. A lot of people where this isn't their primary job will batch recordings. So a lot of podcasts you listen to were recorded months ago, but they just don't usually reveal that information, right? But every now and then, if somebody has a deep spiritual insight that they want to share, they're we know this kind of breaks, it's not the fourth wall, but, kind of breaks the lie of this is fresh, new content. But so somebody was talking about Lent, and they were saying that their kid's favorite song in Lent is "Jesus, Remember Me When You Come Into Your Kingdom," and that the kid would just sing this all around the house, and it's one of those things that I was like, do I even talk about this? Because not only is Lent over, Easter is over. It's been 50 days
since Lent.
Since Lent,
is
right?
way
But it's
old.
One of the things is we're always, we are an Easter people. We're always people who celebrate the birth of Christ and Him becoming incarnate to the world. It's not just a December thing. It's not like we're limited to talking
seasonal.
About the resurrection of Jesus for 50 days,
True, that's true.
and only on Sundays. But It was interesting because it's one of those stories where you hear over and over and over and over and over again. And it baffles me that I don't hear. Usually I hear scripture different than most people do. It's like the Taylor way of viewing scripture, right? And I can't believe. I guess it was because it was always during Lent that I heard that song. But now that I'm hearing that song outside of Lent, you know where that story comes from, right? Where is that in the Bible? Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom.
The guy that was hanging next to him.
The good
one. Not the bad. The other one was I don't care.
Not the smooth criminal, the good criminal. The good criminal.
I can't believe you know that. That's great. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so the good thief, right?
I'm a lot older than I look because I shaved my beard and you didn't notice.
I just noticed. Nice face.
But the nice face. Good job. Good work.
Good job. We knew it was under there.
So the good criminal,
Yeah.
everybody's heard the story 1,000 times. And he looks at Jesus and he comes to believe that he is the king of heaven, right?
Like at the
so
end,
he recognizes
right?
that he has a kingdom outside of this world, and he's like, Jesus, I know, knowing that he's a sinner and that he's messed up, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And I started thinking about like memories and remembering people. And I was like, you know who I remember the most? Like I saw a guy the other day at a track meet that I haven't seen in 12 years, and he knew who I was, and I had no idea who he was. You know why? Because we just had, he revealed who he was, and I was like, oh yeah, we were friends for like a year in 8th, 9th grade, and then we just kind of went our own ways, right?
Yeah.
So I haven't seen this guy in 15 years, but he didn't do anything great or anything terrible. I remember like my best friends over time and things that happened with them. And I remember that everybody who has ever scorned me, wronged me, hurt me, I remember all of that, right? So with that in mind, if I was the good thief, I would have been a little more specific when I was talking about Jesus. Because the way he worded it, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus could have been like, oh, I'll remember you. Have fun in hell, buddy. Just remembering isn't enough. I would have said, Jesus, remember me fondly. Remember the good things that I did when you come into your kingdom. What do you think about that?
Would you have handed him a list?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, you couldn't hand him anything.
Well,
he's nailed to a cross.
Obviously, I'm not good on observation.
So to be fair, you said you're not thinking clearly because you went to sleep at 4 a.m.
True.
He's nailed to a cross. So he's probably not thinking completely clearly.
I forgot where they were. I understand now. They weren't just hanging out by a well.
Well, they were just hanging out, but that's a whole other thing.
Okay, I think even better than this is, would you have been the good thief or the bad thief? That really and truly, or whatever, criminal. Would you have said to him, like, do you think you would have said that? Like,
I would have been the smooth criminal and not gotten caught.
I don't know. I feel like you would have thought you were the smooth criminal. I could see that happening more. No, I think you should be really specific. And I think not only should you tell him all your good things, like give him a list, but then you should be like, and here's where I want to go in heaven. Because aren't there like different levels of heaven? Like there's like Mansion Row and I don't know. Like am I wrong? Is that a thing?
Well, I mean, when I go to heaven, I'm definitely going to like Pokemon Land, and I'm going to live out my fantasy of being a Pokemon master.
You want to do that for eternity?
No, it's just like level 1. When I beat the Elite Four, I'll go to the next level of heaven, which is like Harry Potter Land or something.
Okay, I'm
sorry
all for that.
For the people who hate Harry Potter. Sorry, it exists in heaven.
No, I love Harry Potter. Here's the thing. I think, and this is what I really do hope, because they talk a lot about food in the Bible, and they talk a lot about feasting, especially with heaven. So I want to know, especially you and I, we both love food. Are we going to get to do that? Like, when they say feasting, do they mean eat? Like, because then you could have said that to him while you were hanging on the cross. Like, listen, I need you to remember me and bring me in. And here's what I want to eat when I get there. And it doesn't count.
If heaven is real,
doesn't count.
If heaven is real, you can eat all that you want and not get any weight.
Exactly. So what would you ask for? Like you're hanging on the cross. He's like, give me your order. I'll make sure it's there when you get there. You're about to die in 10 minutes because I'm Jesus. Like I know exactly what time you're going to die.
That's the thing about heaven is it's like the perfect DoorDash because like you don't want to say, you don't want to like, would people ask like, what do you want to eat? If you had one thing, would you eat for all eternity? I'd probably say like enchiladas or something like that.
Enchiladas?
But the thing is, like, enchiladas is probably one of my favorite foods, but I don't crave it all the time, right? It's not like every time I order DoorDash, I order enchiladas every time. I like to vary it up. So the thing about heaven is it's like instant DoorDash where you don't have to pay because Jesus paid it all. So you're just like, I want to eat barbecue right now, and it just appears, and you're ready to go. And now barbecue exists in the Pokemon heaven, and I'm just a Pokemon master eating barbecue.
And he remembers you because you told him, and you were specific.
Right,
Which the other guy, he missed his chance.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance he's in heaven.
He might be.
And I think, Jesus is merciful, so I think he would have been like, you know what, we'll take into consideration that he was in a lot of pain when he asked. But, like...
He wasn't thinking clearly. But Jesus did tell him he would be there with him, so he did get in. We know that. Right? Didn't Jesus say, you're going to be with me?
Maybe, I don't know. I didn't look up that part of the story.
How Catholic are we? Jeez.
It was over 50 days ago. What do I know? I didn't look the story up. I didn't think we were going there. You asked too many clarifying questions.
We need to call Mel Gibson. He knows. He did The Passion. So
I don't think Mel Gibson is the guy I would call for my theological proofs. But okay, so it brings up like specificity in prayer, and I've shared this story, but it was a long time ago, and I forget who it was. Allison was yelling at me for like I try not to like retell stories on here because I just assume that everyone's listened to all 240 episodes, but she's like, but they didn't though. So she says it's okay for me to retell stories because the new people will hear them for the first time.
Right.
And the people that heard them were like, oh yeah, I remember that. That was a good story. Or it wasn't a good story. They remembered me not fondly. So there's a story about being specific in prayer in my life where, and people might hate this, but whatever, it's real. Like growing up, like so many other people, I had such an impact at a Steubenville conference. Like it really changed the trajectory of my spiritual life. Everybody hates that story now, but it's true, and it changed my life for the positive. So take that, haters. I don't know what you want from me. But like one of the big reasons that I'm in ministry was not just from the Steubenville conferences, but like so many people. I shouldn't be a practicing Catholic. I should have been gone years ago. But so many people like poured into me in youth ministry, young adult ministry. And they like help change the course of my life. And like one of the big reasons in ministry is you receive something like that and you want to give it. Like everything that I do now is something that I received from somebody else that I really appreciate and I want to give back. So whether it's faith or coaching or whatever, like I received that, so I want to give it. So one of the things that like really changed my life was the Steubenville conferences. And it's like I have applied multiple times and been rejected to speak at the Steubenville conferences, right? It's still a dream of mine. And, you know, they're slowly letting off the top, like all the people who are turning 50, you know, it's like, yeah, they'll bring in some younger people. But I've still had this dream and I was praying, not like every day, but like, you know, like maybe twice a year when it popped into my head or whatever. God, like I would really like to be a Steubenville speaker someday. If you could make that happen, that'd be great. And then a couple of years ago, I get a call. And it's from the director, who's a friend of mine, who's the director of the Diocese of Steubenville. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. And they're like, hey, do you want to come speak at our diocesan conference? And I'm like, what? That's such an honor, right? It's such an honor. And anytime I'm asked to speak at diocesan conferences, like it's really cool to be invited. And I love doing them. But so there I was. And I got off the phone and I was like really happy. And I realized it didn't make me not happy, but I realized it's like, God, come on. Like, I've been asking for years to be a Steubenville conference speaker, and now I'm the speaker at the diocesan Steubenville conference. And I'm like, God, thank you. Like, this is great. But you know what I meant. Like, come on.
I was like, you want to be like, you knew what I meant. You know what I mean. You, come on now. I love that. I hadn't heard that story. That's funny.
Yeah, because you don't listen to the podcast, you loser.
We already declared I'm the worst friend you have. Wait.
100%.
At least I won that.
Like the person at my gym yesterday noticed, like, oh, you changed your hair. Like,
listen, I mean, I would have eventually. Look, I've already said this a million times. I'm a hot blonde inside. It's just I feed her a lot, so that's just my outside does not match my inside.
We've heard the joke so many times. It was really funny the first time. It's been like 38 uses now.
Well, you get to say the same story. Okay, listen, I really have a question.
I've said it twice, and the first time was 4 years ago.
I have a question. Did you go to the Steubenville conference speaking thing? Did you go?
100%. Yeah, I loved it. It was great.
Oh, good.
I knocked it out of the park. I was like, I should have been doing this next door.
Did you? I was going to say, did you think, and this is going to be my gateway? Like, this is going to be like my resume, my portfolio to get into Steubenville?
Well, not really. I mean, because I've done all kinds of diocesan
Never
conferences,
mind.
and they still don't want me.
Yeah, but it just feels like they would have been like over there, like watching you. I'm sorry. I think you should totally be a Steubenville speaker. Well,
that's not the point. The point was being hilarious.
Being specific. And I just want to say this. They sent me an email and said, could you please stop applying?
Oh, wow.
They did. They were like, we got it. Like, we've got your application.
You're super old. That's what they are saying.
They're like, we're good. We'll call you.
Yeah. If all of our other speakers die, we'll fill all the spots. Right. And then if one of them dies, you might have a chance.
Right. We'll let you know. Yeah. I'd give him your name at this point. I'd be like, you know what? Actually, I got this friend, Taylor. Yeah. He doesn't have a beard. Let him.
Yeah. Which is a requirement to speak at conferences, but they don't happen anymore.
Steubenville, so. Yes, 100%. You better grow that thing fast because they will not take you now.
So have you ever had a story where like a story of like being specific in prayer and it was similar to what you wanted, but not quite.
Yeah. Well, how about this? I had a confusing answer. Does that count? Like,
Sure.
I wasn't specific enough in what I was asking. I was born on St. Therese of Lisieux's feast day, October 1st. And so my whole life I have felt really connected to her. And my mom told me, like, oh, if you pray to St. Therese, like for her intercession, especially this specific novena, she'll answer you with roses. Have you ever heard that before, that you'll get like roses?
Yeah.
Okay. But it's supposed to be like a random rose, like not like if you're married and it's your anniversary and your husband brings you roses, you're not like, oh my gosh, that's St.
Well,
Therese.
that is random. It only happens once a year.
But you already know you're going to get it. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't count. It's got to be like some random, like, there's really cool stories of how people have received roses. Well, here's what's funny. For about a hot second, I thought, I'm going to be a nun. I was like, which I would be so the worst nun. Like, I would have
100%.
Oh my God, they would have fired me so fast. They'd be like, you can't talk anymore. Like, you have to
Yeah,
stop.
you'd go into the convent and they'd be like, I know we're quiet all day, but you need to go in solitary. Like, there's a solitary confinement nunnery for you.
For real, I would have never made it. But I really thought I was going to be a nun for all of sophomore year of high school. And I read Story of a Soul, which is Therese of Lisieux's book. And I was like, yeah, this is it. So I did her novena, right? And then I got a rose at the end. Like on the last day of the novena, I really did in a really random way. And I know we don't have time for me to tell. But here's what's funny. I didn't and I was like, I told everybody I'm doing this novena to know if I'm supposed to be a nun or not. But I wasn't specific in
a nun or not sounds like a nun that goes to space.
I would have loved that. I wanted to be an astronaut. Okay. But I wasn't specific about like, if I get a rose, that means I'm supposed to be a nun. Or if I get a rose, that means I'm going to get married and have kids. I didn't say that. But I got a rose and then I was like, wait.
Your prayer is answered and you're more confused than ever.
I was like, so am I a nun? Or
I really like nun or not. That's one of my favorite
am I
things
a
I've
nun
heard
or
in a while.
not?
Oh man, I'm just ready for a nun to go up on one of Elon Musk's shuttles so we can. I
That
called
would be
it. I called it.
Oh, that would be so good. So I don't know if that goes with your story. There you go.
Well, it does. So the
But I'm
whole
not a
lesson
nun.
is be more specific in prayer because you never know what God's going to do when he answers it.
When
We'll
he
be right
answers
back.
it.
Don't go anywhere. I am having so much fun creating different kind of bonus content and added content from this show, including over on TikTok, which I haven't talked about yet. At Taylor Stroll on TikTok is mostly a lot of clips from the show, and also over on YouTube Shorts, which is essentially just YouTube copying what TikTok is doing. You can always follow us on YouTube at Forte Catholic. And over this past week, we even have some exclusive clips, stuff that happens between the segments of the show that you will only see on YouTube, not shared on social media or anything. So go over and subscribe today at youtube.com/Forte Catholic. Not only do you get full link at the episodes of this podcast, you get that bonus stuff, you get talks, you get music, all sorts of fun over there. Do it today. It's a great free way to help us, and you get all kinds of great Catholic entertainment. Forte Catholic, nope, youtube.com/Forte Catholic. Welcome back to Forte Catholic. I am Taylor Stroll. That is Olivia Newton-John, and we're going to finish today with a segment that, like, people are enjoying way more than I thought they would. I thought this would be a fun segment to do like once or twice. I bought these things called PodDecks, and they're just interview questions, right? They're meant to be for people who like aren't good, new podcasters that haven't mastered interviewing yet, like yours truly. Hey. But I think the way that we're using them is that like we're both answering the questions. And some of the feedback that I've gotten is the reason people are liking it is that other than a few random times with you in particular, I'm always in control of the show.
Oh, jeez.
Every now and then you kind of it goes off the rails. And I'm like, what is happening? But PodDecks, like kind of accidentally, is me unprepared. And people are enjoying that.
That's funny.
Because it's either it's really good and they're like, oh, he's actually pretty good off the cuff too, or it's really bad and they're like, ooh, we see why he does all this work before the show. So here we go. These are our PodDecks questions.
We don't know what they are.
No, they're completely random.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what the first one is because I just looked at it, but other than that, I don't know what they are. I've known for 60 seconds.
Dang it.
You can start. Who would play you in a movie?
We already did that.
Did we?
Didn't we?
Oh, yeah. I think I said Jason Statham. Okay,
Yes, you
moving
did.
on. This next one. This is the problem with doing random, is we already did this. Brag to me about the best things going on in the past 30 days. That was our first segment.
We did.
So
yeah.
just hit the back button a few times.
Yeah.
We're not. What is your guilty pleasure?
Ooh.
I know mine.
Okay, say yours.
Because so I've recently been watching a lot of shows on Hulu because my sister has a login and she finally gave it to me. So I've been watching Hulu, and I've been watching things like I just went through like Brooklyn Nine-Nine for the first time and loved that show.
So good.
I'm watching Seinfeld for the first time. Like I watched like random episodes with my dad when I was a kid, and it was actually like, new episodes. But I haven't watched it all the way through, so I'm watching Seinfeld.
Okay.
And I'm just about done with season 2. But there's another show called Archer. I love Archer so much. It's animated, but it's an adult show. And like the way that it starts on Hulu is like it's like a big announcer guy, and it goes bum bum. It kind of sounds like the Law and Order sound.
I was gonna say Law and Order. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like that. And they're like, this show is only meant for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. And every time I hear that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm mature. This is awesome. So that's my guilty pleasure, is really enjoying the warning. This is for mature audiences only.
You're like, this is so bad.
I'm such a bad boy.
This is naughty.
Why would a bad boy talk like that? That makes me so laugh.
I'm so naughty.
I'm such a bad boy.
I live in California. That's hilarious. Now you're going to go eat sushi today for lunch. Okay, I would have to say I loved Bridgerton when it came out, and I'm pretty sure that's not okay with the Catholic Church. But I got to listen, this is sad. I am still watching Grey's Anatomy, which I feel like it's just me and Shonda Rhimes at this point, and I still love the Bachelor series. I really do. I love the Bachelorette, but you got to start with it. I can't come in mid-season if I didn't start at the beginning of it. But if I'm into, like, if I watch the very first episode of whatever the new season is, I'm like, listen, it can't miss it. Like, I love it. Is that sad? Because it's like that show's like so old. Both of those shows have been on forever.
I mean, that is the definition of guilty pleasure. Like, just trash TV.
It's just trash TV. Yeah. It's just like whatever. Bridgerton, I really did love, though. Oh my gosh,
it was good.
It was so good.
Allison and I, after our last recording, went to lunch and talked about Bridgerton off the air because we very much enjoyed the show.
He's not coming back. The really hot guy. I'm like, I don't know if I'll watch the next season.
Yeah, exactly.
He's so pretty.
What do you consider? No, we've already done that one. Dang it.
You need to shuffle.
Well, I try not to look at them. That's the whole point.
Oh, shuffle. Don't look when you shuffle. What?
All right. What's the worst job you've ever had?
Oh, that's cute that you thought I've worked.
I had a job for like 2 days once.
It was super hard. My parents made me take out the trash.
I felt like such a bad boy.
Okay, I really did have a really bad job. Do you want to hear what it is? There was an old, like back in the day, I don't know if you grew up this way, but remember in the 80s and 90s, people would go That's right. You were born in 2003. You're the worst. No, I have a kid that was born in 2003. There were portrait studios like JCPenney, like it had the really bad backdrop. And
there's some really bad pictures.
You know what I mean? Okay, so there was one called Olin Mills. I don't know if you remember that. A portrait studio called Olin Mills. Well, I decided to get a job working there in their call center of cold calling. Back in the day when people used to cold call. I think that's against the law now. So I would be like, hi, this is Olivia Harrison. No, I wasn't Harrison. Well, nobody cold calls anymore because everyone has mobile phones.
I mean, I know people like texting, but it doesn't mean phone calls are illegal.
Well, I mean, but can you cold call? I don't know, but I would call.
100%. Salespeople do it all the time.
It was awful. And I had a bell at my station. I was in a cubicle. And I would call and I'd be like, I was in high school. I was like, hi, I'm Olivia Anselmi, and I'm with Olin Mills Portrait Studio. I'd love to offer you a deal today. And no one would ever buy. But like, one time I sold like 8 in one day, and I don't think I ever sold another one. It was awful. Everybody smoked. They were gross. It was like the worst.
I'm not even listening to your story anymore because you just gave me one of the greatest gifts of ever.
What?
I knew what your maiden name was, and I've spelled it out for multiple things.
And sell me.
I know, but and like you have said your maiden name before. I have never heard you say your first name and your maiden name together.
Aww.
It makes you I give you fake middle names all the time and it makes you sound real country. Like your middle name is Ann. My name's Olivia Anselmi.
It's Olivia Catherine Anselmi with a C. Catherine with a C.
Olivia
Catherine Anselmi.
Did I answer the question?
Anselmi.
Oh, the worst
What is
job
yours?
I've
What
ever
was
had.
your worst job?
Working for the Catholic Church. Moving on.
That needs to be a later story on a later day.
People know. People that listen to the show know.
They
Hey,
know.
it's been rough.
But you're bringing back old stories.
Come in. Being on the other side, seeing the inside of the church is ugly sometimes.
It's hard. Yeah.
I mean, my only other jobs were Chick-fil-A, which is actual heaven.
You worked at Chick-fil-A?
Oh, yeah. It was my pleasure. I mowed lawns, which, like, now would kill me, but I was a young, strapping man. What was the word you used earlier?
Spry.
I was very spry back then. So
I worked for a psychiatrist once, and my job was to Xerox all of his.
It's not your turn anymore. You already answered.
Dang it. Okay, because I forgot that one.
I worked at Chick-fil-A.
Okay,
and
sorry,
I
go
mowed
ahead.
lawns.
Okay.
And then, like, I had, like, internships, but, like, that's not a job.
Right.
And then I started working for the church. So, I mean, it's not like...
You've had a lot of
I haven't had, like, a terrible job, but, you know, sometimes... And some of those church jobs got pretty nasty.
Okay.
All right, what's your favorite thing you've bought this year? And what's funny for me is that there's only, like, 3 things I've bought because I'm poor, but you're really wealthy, so you have a lot of options to pick from.
Stop saying I'm wealthy.
It's sorry, the truth hurts.
Okay, first of all, I don't have any money, but I married a husband. So my dad.
You go look at those vows.
My dad used to say that all the time. He was like,
"Did you
don't
sign a
have anything."
prenup?
No, because we were
Then
young.
you're wealthy.
Yay! I'm just kidding.
You're sitting in a Melinda Gates situation.
You're hilarious. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. We are not well. We just have 2 kids. Okay. So this year, you know what? Nathan just bought me an AC unit for this because now we're converting this entire space to an actual real, like more than just the space for a studio. We're going to do the entire garage as a studio. And so he put in a new AC. Well, we had guys come in and they built me an AC.
What's so funny about this?
Yay! So I won't sweat.
I thought you were going to answer like you got this studio that you were recording in within the
year.
last. It has not been 365 days since you got that.
Oh, okay. Well, if we don't work, you know what? I would say that, to be really honest, my surgery I just had.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best thing I bought.
I bought the rights to be 20 pounds less heavy.
The removal of my person. That's the best thing that Nathan bought all year. That and AC. What about you?
I know you. Oh, best thing that I know
what yours is.
Huh?
I know what yours is.
It is. I think for me it has to be a combo because one doesn't make sense without the other.
Okay.
It's I because of COVID and I was just going to be home all the time with my first Trump bucks. I bought the new Xbox and a new TV.
That's what I was going to say.
I have spent like they were big purchases. Like they were expensive, right?
Very pricey.
But we've all been stuck at home for over a year and a half. If you put that price and started dividing it by hours I've spent on those things. Like, it was cheap, so.
It sounded like 25 cents an hour.
Right. Let's just say it is less than my hourly wage at this point.
Yeah.
So,
no,
which is impressive.
And you deserve both.
Okay. I know that you're not a big tech person, but I still think that you can have a good answer for this question.
Okay.
I might have to think about it. What technology do you wish existed?
Okay, so Zach and I were watching Back to the Future 1 the other night. It was on TV.
Because he doesn't have any friends and doesn't go anywhere.
This was at 3 a.m. Would you just give the kid for the love of everything? We make him come home by 1. Anyway, and they have all those gadgets and you forget, like Back to the Future. And I'll tell you what it was. Do you remember when they open up a Pizza Hut? Like it has Pizza Hut on it and it's like a little tiny pizza and she opens up this machine because it's when he's in the future and she puts it in. So maybe it's Back to the Future 2. I don't know. No, I think it's Back to the Future 1 and shuts it and it hydrates the pizza and she takes it out in 3 seconds. And I was like, how do we not have that yet? How do we not have a Pizza Hut or any kind of pizza hydrator? I was like, and in 2 seconds, you got a hot pizza. I was like, that needs to happen. It was like Black & Decker on it and everything. I was like, this is kind of sad to see all the things that have yet to happen in the future. So that's what I wish. Does that count as technology? Like a food hydrator?
100%.
Yeah, that'd be so rad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So you never cook anyway, so you just made it easier for yourself. Stop. You're like, I can cook now. It only takes 3 seconds. I mean, put these in YouTube.
It's really cool. You got to go back and watch that scene and be like, man, now I'm pissed. Like, why don't we have that?
Because I've never seen those movies, so I can't
You've
go back and
never
watch
seen
it.
Back to the Future?
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay, go ahead.
Why would I?
I can't.
It's always
right
one of those
now.
things when they're like, you have to get rid of one of these movies franchises, Star Wars, Harry Potter, or Back to the Future. I'm like, Back to the Future because it's already gone from my life. What do
that's
I care?
fair. I mean, I would say that anyway, but you should watch it. Anyway, go ahead.
For me, and I've seen this in movies, like futuristic movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like controlling a computer with your mind.
Mm.
So like, you put on like the little like hat or whatever that reads your synapses or whatever the scientist said in the show. Like, and I think this one right now, it's kind of like, it's selfish, but it would be helpful. I'm having so much, I have like tendonitis in my elbow right now because I'm editing so much and like moving my fingers when I edit, like on the keyboard, on the thing, like even doing this, like I can feel the muscles in my elbow. Like all my muscles are so tight from doing that so often.
Yeah.
And like the technology that they're using right now to fix this is they're scraping it with a piece of metal, and it is insanely painful. So I would like to have that hat where I can like, essentially like tell my computer what to do with my brain. It'd be great.
Well, can I share another one that I just thought of from The Fifth Element? Have you seen that film, Fifth Element?
Yeah, you got like less than a minute. Hurry up.
Okay, he takes they do like something when you fly.
No, we don't have time. That's our show. I'm Taylor Schroll. That's Olivia Newton-John. I hope that you enjoyed our PodDecks segment. This is our favorite ending ever. Bye, Olivia. Love you.
Bye, like your face.
I'll be back next week. Say it. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening to today's podcast. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed making it. If you did, hit the subscribe button if you are watching on YouTube or wherever you are listening on your podcast app. Hit the like button. Share this with a friend, somebody who you might think would enjoy today's podcast. That's the best way for us to grow, is for you to just be like, hey, I've got this buddy who's Catholic who might enjoy some Catholic light comedy. Hit the share button. Thank you guys so much. God bless, and I'll see you next week. Peace.